Hey there, my name is Mackenzie and welcome to my little corner of the internet. A few months ago I posted a video of me fashion sketching while on my way to my language school here in Tokyo, and today I'll be sharing a part 2. If you haven't seen part 1 and are interested, I'll have it linked somewhere up here so you can head over there and watch that one first, which I do recommend you do. We're diving straight in here and following up from where we left off last time, starting with my recent love of various types of pants. These aren't anything particularly special, to be honest, but I felt like sketching them out anyway. As someone with very little bottom pieces in my wardrobe, I'm always on the hunt for new stable pieces, but here in Japan my 38-inch hips are just too thick apparently, because I've had a hell of a time finding pants that go past my thighs, let alone past my ass, and that can also button up. It's seriously so rough out here, like someone please help me. Anywho, I've been really into more casual silhouettes when it comes to pants. I'm talking slouchy, relaxed fits. Ripped, a bit baggy, but not like oversized to the point that they look ridiculous or anything. Ever since I got into vintage fashion when I was in my mid-teens, I've loved high-waisted bottoms, and I do prefer those, and that hasn't changed even though low-rise are making a comeback. I'm old enough to remember the last time, and I'm good with skipping out on them this round. One of my favorite pants that lives rent-free in my head is a pair of jeans I saw Jurin from XG wearing in a TikTok that had like a tight high waist but a sort of baggy jogging pant kind of silhouette to it in the leg area with pleats that connected the pant parts to the waist, and I thought they looked sick, but to be real with you, they wouldn't look half as cool on me and my big ass as they do on her, so I think it might be one of those things I love on others but not myself. But who knows, if I can find something similar I might give them a try and find out. These slouchy hip-hop-esque style pants isn't a new love for me by any means, but a style I've fallen in love with more recently would be the use of socks and leg warmers at various lengths. Growing up, these were long out of style by the time I was old enough to have a concept of fashion and dressing myself, but as a young girl into J-pop idols, I was exposed to the use of them and was always a little bummed I'd get bullied like crazy for wearing them to school because I thought they were so cute. It's funny because I actually talked about a very similar situation with the pants under skirts and dresses in part 1, so as you can see, Japanese pop culture, Japanese fashion, especially as it relates to idols and what they wear in their music videos and things like that, have always kind of had a presence in a lot of my life and my personal fashion and aesthetic taste. Although I liked the look and I didn't pursue it myself, I wasn't as in love with it as I've become lately, and I did go out and buy myself a few different styles of thigh-high socks to start. I haven't added leg warmers to my wardrobe just yet as I haven't found the right styles, but trust, you'll be seeing them make their way into my outfit of the day posts eventually. An aspect of this that I've fallen in love with since coming to Japan has been the idea of different colors of socks being paired and layered over each other. Before I would have worn either leg warmers, tights, or socks. Never a combination of them, but I want to start experimenting with that type of styling this year. I talked about my lack of layering creativity in part 1 as well, so this is just an extension of that. I've also been seeing a lot of hardware on clothes here, and I've been really loving the looks even though I know washing them might be more tedious as a result. Chains around the edges of clothing like this tank top, or metal bits that hold cutouts together like this cropped long sleeve top are examples of this trend. It's probably not one of the ones I'll be incorporating into my own wardrobe a lot, if at all, but I do enjoy the look of them at the very least. I sort of covered this in part 1 with layering thin pattern tops under solid smaller tops, but I've been really loving lacy items paired with solid pieces. I drew a few solid colored tops with lace tank tops over top of them, but the third example for this is the reverse with a lace shirt under a solid dress. I feel like there's so many combinations that this can create if the lace is a simple white or a color that matches a good portion of your wardrobe, and it's an easy way to elevate an outfit with a feminine touch that makes the whole thing look more detailed and sophisticated without having to really add much to it at all. This is definitely something I want to incorporate into my own wardrobe, but I want to make sure that the pieces I'm buying aren't itchy on my skin, so I'm a little hesitant with lace if I can't try it on and test it beforehand. I've been obsessed with dainty, feminine, flowery patterns lately. I want it to look like it came straight out of a 40s fashion magazine, or it could have been a fabric option for a couch or bedding from that same time period. Speaking of, I've actually always loved knit cardigans that can be layered over collared shirts or having collars themselves. 40s and 50s fashion has always been a great love of mine, so you see that come up a lot in my wardrobe with pieces that often have these sorts of elements to them. In my teen years, I was like obsessed with the idea of just straight vintage fashion. Like, I wanted to dress like it was the 40s. And although I still definitely want to add, again, elements of that to my wardrobe, I think I've calmed down a little bit in the sense that I don't necessarily feel the need to almost dress time period specific. It's more like I want elements of those designs and those aesthetics within my wardrobe, but I don't necessarily want it to look like I stepped out of a time machine from the 40s or the 50s, but rather just kind of incorporate elements of it into my wardrobe. They kind of provide a hint of that time period, but still feel like they fit in modern day. I don't know if you've heard of Eat the Bags, but they've really gained popularity here over the last year or so and are in the era of their lifespan where they've become somewhat mainstream to the point that I'm seeing cheap versions at Daiso and other 100 yen shops here in Tokyo. They're basically a bag with a clear plastic cutout section that has a mesh screen on the other side to place pins, badges, photos, and other goods from your favorite anime, manga, or video game series, favorite idols, or whoever you really like and heavily support and want to show off. They're literally called pain bags because they're cringy and painful to look at, but also are super expensive, so they're painful to your wallet. They started out as a niche nerdy thing, but like most niche nerdy things, have become mainstream popular recently, and now they're not considered so cringy anymore. Lately I've seen them mostly as tote bags, but they come in every style and size and design you could possibly think of at this point. You can actually buy them like fully decked out from stores that specifically specialize in them. Like, it's crazy, and these bags get extremely expensive in that case. I'd like to get one for my growing enamel pin collection, but I don't know what style I'd want it to be, and I can't settle on one I like enough to invest. Kind of like how I talked about in part 1 with the varsity jackets, it's the same dilemma. I wouldn't need more than one of these, so I'd want to make sure that it's perfect and will last me a long time and is versatile enough that I can use it as an everyday bag. I've also really loved the look of heavily decorated purses, so I added that in near the end there. As with part 1, you'll notice a color palette here of mostly pinks and blues with pastel shades of purple and green making appearances for variety. As I continue to build my wardrobe this year, I hope to make it feminine and colorful and pretty. Actually, I think it's a good time to mention here that I'll be doing a video on the process of building a wardrobe I genuinely enjoy after spending most of my teen and adult life wearing hand-me-downs and clothes that were just good enough because I was prioritizing saving for school in Japan for, no joke, most of my life. When I started trying to build a wardrobe that actually reflects my style and aesthetic, I wanted to document the process and share it with those who may be looking for inspiration to do the same. That video is a bit of a ways out as I'm not fully done with the process, but it is incoming, probably to be up around the summer months or so look forward to it and I will keep you updated. To finish things off, I outlined in black pen and added some small details like lots of bows, which is a fashion element I've always had a very deep love for and can never have enough of, and detailed the lace fabrics with a white ink pen. I really enjoyed creating this page, and I actually think I like it better than part 1's collection. The colors, aesthetics, and variety of styles present while still maintaining a core theme of femininity and somewhat retro undertones really speaks to me, and I really wish I could just paint them into existence because then I would never have to worry about clothes not fitting me properly. Let me know in the comments what you think of these styles and what looks you've recently come to like and want to incorporate into your closet. Also, yay or nay to thigh-high socks over tights. I've been really loving the look of it, but I don't know if it's just because of like constant exposure to that look that I'm starting to vibe with it, or if it's actually a vibe. You know? I don't know if it's like a socks over sandals kind of deal where some people think that it's an absolute no-go. I think most people think that socks with certain types of sandals is definitely a no-go, but like socks with heels kind of slaps. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's largely dependent on what the combination is, really, and I of course everything is subjective when it comes to fashion, but I've been really loving the look personally, but I don't know if it's just from exposure bias, just constantly seeing something to the extent that I think it's a look even if it doesn't actually serve. Do you know what I mean? But I am interested in knowing what other people think of that concept of having tights and then putting socks over top of the tights. Like that specifically, I think is probably one of the biggest things that I've come to love that I would not have thought if you'd asked me a year ago or 2 years ago if I thought that would slay. I would have been like, absolutely no, are you insane? Do you know what I mean? Like I would have been like, that sounds like the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. Like that would have been probably my reaction to that concept, and now I love it. So I just want to know what the consensus is on this one. What do you guys think? Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you here again in my little corner of the internet next week.